we have loaded here in the Gibraltar. We're going to be looking at this rogue defense heading right out here. It is going to be reinforced on the Roadhog, Tavik on the Pharah, Nox on Lucio, AKM on Reaper, Wins on the 76, and Unco on Mercy.
Okay, so Roadhog definitely coming back into the meta. I mentioned yesterday we both got a chance to play. I haven't been able to play for a while, and now, like, after playing a little bit, I totally understand Roadhog being everywhere. He's like a better version of McCree, and he has 600 health. It's amazing. So on the offense, though, we're going to see Taimu come out on that Genji. Coco will be playing the Roadhog himself. Internet Hulk will be on his Winston. Chips will be playing the Mercy. Tailspin, of course, on that Pharah. And Harry Hook and the Bridge Above, Never Give Up on that Lucio.
Alrighty, so both teams setting up right now. Tavik just bouncing up and down as the offensive Envy takes flight. And just to go on about your point about Roadhog, Roadhog is extremely good and actually probably tilts me more than any other character just because I feel like the hook is a little bit too easy to land, and in pubs just I feel like I die the Roadhog about 3 times more than any other hero in the game.
You start changes with Roadhog if that's a consideration. You start with the hook. Everything else is kind of okay and fine. You start by looking at that hook. So they're going to take this first point pretty easily. This first point, as we've said before, doesn't even really count. Everyone takes this first point. The real battle is going to happen around the corner here. They're choosing not to hold server room on defense.
Yeah, the defense being a little bit more mobile here, deciding to go opt for what appears to be more of a Crossfire-esque defense. We'll see if they decide to stick with it, but Tailspin right now, getting right into it, has 76 in his sights, 76 eating all sorts of fire. Wins is able to get away, but not before losing a lot of defensive positioning on the point. Envy getting 2 kills to start this out, as Tailspin right now still pretty much untouched, got healed right back up. Ruz comes up here from the side of Envy, and Envy feels like they have an opportunity. They're going in, down goes AKM. And they're able to just chain the kills, and they almost have this accident. Oh my goodness, Wins just getting destroyed to start out this game. Just beautiful stuff from Tailspin.
I mean, yeah, I talked about that first cap not really existing, but that second cap might as well have been a gimme. They just rolled through. That is the most uncontested I've ever seen that second point, and look how far forward they are. They already have shuttle. They're rolling on this momentum.
They are rolling, and I just got to say, Tailspin absolutely great. But here comes defense Rogue coming right back into it. Rogue, of course, by the way, is playing at ping disadvantage here. They are not on EU pings, but Tavik right now does have barrage at the right. We'll see if he can make use of it. So does Tailspin, though, so both Tailspin, Tavik, prime for glory here. As Wins with attack visor, takes down 2. Was able to get on the chips in the back. Tavik just rolling in, able to take out Tailspin with a long-range rocket, and Rogue's gonna solidify a bit here, Hex.
Yeah, it's really nice for them, actually. They was dodgy for the second, but they knew that if they had any chance in this shuttle phase, it was going to be taking over the top. They had to fight a little undermanned for the moment, but they got a couple picks early. Like you mentioned, that pick on chips was absolutely huge. Now this defense is finally in a good position. They were really in trouble of losing this immediately as well, but like you said, they've solidified here.
Well, offense right now deciding to come right back into it. Sound Barriers out and on the way. They have all sorts of ults at their advantage. Coco getting the first pick on the Wins. And now 65 here in favor of Envy. Tailspin going to work. Internet Hulk deep in the back line. Takes out Nox. 64 now, and for Envy, they don't even have to do anything crazy here. They can just stay on the payload. They already have advantage. The defense completely crippled. But Tailspin gets that back line. The barrage on the way, takes out 2. Tavik will take him out in turn, but Tailspin immediately getting rezzed, and Envy just going to work right now on this defense.
Yeah, Rogue was fighting on 2 different fronts there. They got completely split up. It seemed like they didn't know if they wanted to reinforce their backline or kind of hold that front, and they ended up being undermanned in both of those fights, got mechanically beaten in both of those fights, so they decided they weren't going to take a big 6v6. They went 2v2 and then 4v4, lost both of them, and now Envy is back on the warpath.
Coco going to land the hook he needs, takes out AKM in a flash. Good stuff right now coming out from the side of Envy. They're keeping the momentum going. They're not giving Rogue a chance to breathe. And right now, they're saying an incredibly quick time here on Jib.
Is that the new nomenclature? Jib?
Just right. Jib, yeah. Well, you can say Jib, Gibraltar. Why not? And oh my goodness, Tailspin from downtown taking out Tavik. And he's just going to go right into it. Oh my, Tailspin, please have mercy. The barrage on the way out. Tailspin on the triple kill. Finally gets taken out by Nox. But all sorts of damage being done. And Taimu right now, Dragon Blade at the ready. He is ready to pile on.
I mean, the most important thing is both their tanks have just about their lockdown ults about to finish out this map. You really need tanks to have their ults ready to try to close it out, so you can't let them get through doors. Hulk's going to have Primal Rage. Coco's going to have that whole hog. They're not going to let him get out.
Yeah, they're going right into it now. Taimu right now looking to get over the top. Here comes the Dragon Blade on the way. Tailspin taking out Tavik. 2 extra kills from the side. Envy make it 3, and This is pretty much a cleanup phase where Rogue is not going to be able to reestablish. The most they can do is delay. They're going to come out and try and delay. Tavik does come in from the back of the barrage, takes out 2.
Oh, supports.
But that might be the last gasp here of the defense.
They might actually, if they can go.
I don't know, the AKM coming in with the Death Blossom, gets the double kill, and even though it was looking grim, AKM, with the aid of Tavik, able to put the team on his back, gets forward and pushes out Envy, and that's uncharacteristic for Envy. Usually when Envy has that sort of advantage of people coming out spawn doors, they don't let the other team off the hook.
Yeah, that map was all but over in my book. I almost chalked it up, but Tavik, with like putting the team on his back, as you mentioned, took out both supports. They're not able to sustain in that fight. Then they get the nice Death Blossom out of AKM, clean up the rest of it, and now it's a full reset. They gotta really figure out how they're gonna push this last point. They're gonna start with Sound Barrier.
Offense comes in off that Sound Barrier. Tailspin looking for the double midair on the Tavik. Tavik able to live for now. Takes another midair rocket. Right now just getting saved by the Mercy. Down goes Nox though. Tavik though firing back in turn. The defense holding on here, and they're actually pushing Envy back. And there's a big Earth Shadow by Reinforce. Knocks down 3. They don't have quite the fall through they need, but Envy I think does need to back up a little bit here.
Yeah, they're fighting 4v5 right now. They got to get out. Onko goes down early, though, so that might give them a little bit of confidence. They are still only 3 up, though, right now. And man, do I feel smart. I called Tavik and Reinforce having to have big games, and they're both having them right now, allowing this Rogue Squadron to hold on.
So do you see a Tracer coming in here? Wynn's going for the defensive Tracer, opting to get off that. As AKM goes to the back, is immediately taken out. 5v5 right now as both teams signing the point. And Tavik now starting to get some big value, and Farah has the double kill, looking for a little bit more. Harry Hook in his sights. Down goes Harry Hook, takes him out. Oh my goodness, the beautiful rockets right now coming out from Tavik and Tailspin have just been great. Both of them have been putting on a clinic, and Rogue right now finding some real, true stabilization here in the back.
Yeah, it is support season for Tavik. He is just acquiring these targets so well, taking down both Harry Hook and Chips. Again, you know that if your both supports are down, you're going to have a really difficult time, to say the least, pushing in, and he's done it about 3 fights in a row, targeting them down early in fights.
Tavik right now landing rocket after rocket. Here comes Death Blossom, the command from the side. Time move does take out Nox immediately. Tailspin the fall through. Has 2, but Tavik, the Justice reigns from behind, gets the triple kill. Able to keep Rogue in this. Getting res right up, looking for Internet Hulk. Vicious fight, Internet Hulk able to win it. As both sides very much fighting up, but I gotta say, Rogue has done an admirable job here. They've been able to match Envy blow for blow on the final. As bad as things started out, they've really been able to stabilize Hex.
Yeah, Pluppy on the Vengeance tour here, man. He is just really going crazy on his former teammates. He's had nothing but like a phenomenal last 5 minutes. He's put them on their back. Here comes a Sound Barrier initiation from the defense.
Sound Barrier comes out there, moving in. Coco, though, with the hammer, takes out Nox immediately. Defense perhaps being a little bit too aggressive, and they're getting punishment here. And here comes the offense back the other way. Sound Barrier at the ready. Tailspin taking flight, moving right to the back line. And Envy's being smart about this. They were able to back out from the defensive Sound Barrier, use a Sound Barrier of their own, and turn the tides in their favor. And now it's going to be Rogue on the hot seat once again. We'll see if they can have another miracle defense. AKM is going to be the man of the hour if he's able to do that. He's looking for it. Low HP, though. Here comes Death Blossom. He's immediately taking out Baron and Hulk. He just did not have the HP that sustained that. Tavik is in the back looking for heroics, but Tailspin says enough of that. Takes him out. Last second res, though, does come in. Lots of Rogue members coming back up, but just as soon as they come up, they go back down. Coco, the Earth Shatter knocks down 3, and they are piling on right now, Hex.
Yeah, you mentioned Envy being smart about it. The smartest thing they did was switch Internet Hawk to Soldier 76. Yes, he got a couple kills, but he really put on a lot of pressure to Tavik, who was the biggest problem for them, was finally able to answer them with that hit scan hero. Tavik put the team on his back for a bit there, but Envy does finally complete the map. It could have been so much worse. It should have been so much worse in a lot of situations. They were able to stabilize in the shuttle room, took a fight that they shouldn't have maybe took, a little undermanned. We were able to take that back, stall out a little bit, and then that last hold there was absolutely crazy. They should have lost that closeout by all instances. Both tanks had their ults up to close it out. They're able to restabilize and now put up a decent and respectable time.
Yeah, time-wise, I think that was about a time of 7:48. I might be wrong. Gibraltar is not the 9-minute time that every other map is, but we do know the closing time, so either way. Was 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. All right, so taking a look here at the defense rolling out here from the side of Envy. They are in the red. They will be on the defense for those who haven't kept up. Defense is on red now on the second round of an attack. It does not switch off colors anymore. will be Harry Hook here on the 76, Internet Hulk on the Winston, Taimu on the Roadhog, Tailspin on Farah, Chipsgen on Mercy, and Coco going to round things out here on the Reinhardt.
What a way to start things off. We're getting right into it. This offense, they're running a bit of an unconventional lineup right now. We'll see if they stick with it from the Rogue side. Reinforce, I feel pretty confident, is going to play that Reinhardt. AKM will be on Reaper. Tavik will be on the Genji for now. I think it's a great choice for DPS on First Point Gibraltar especially. Unco, of course, will be on Mercy. Nox will be on Lucio. The one thing I question is if Wins is going to run this McCree. I've seen McCree a lot more lately, especially the last couple days, and I think pros are really showing off like, oh yeah, he's still really good, especially the way that us pros play him. We left click, we hit headshots. He's still very good at that.
Indeed. Well, offense right now, getting right into it. Tavik not wasting any time, and I expect to see the similar stuff at Rogue from what we just saw a moment ago from the side of Envy. They're gonna be aggressive. Envy, though, I think they might be going for more server room defense here. You take a look at how they're setting up. They are favoring a little bit more, but even still, they still have Tailspin and Chips in the back, so not quite committing to server room as we've seen other teams do in the past.
Yeah, it's kind of both teams are choosing to not hold in server room.
They're getting right into the Internet Hulk, almost getting charged right out from the side of Reinforce, but 2 quick kills here from the defense, evening up the spectrum. Tailspin in the back, able to get another kill, looking for Unco, will take him out. And pretty quick rushing here from Envy, but from the side of Rogue, but just as quickly getting punished out by Envy.
I mean, one of the things about this Envy roster is you look at teams who have support players, and what do you do when you're not going to run double support? Do you have support players who can pick up a damage class and be super effective on it? Harry Hook has been nothing short of amazing on Soldier 76. He's a top 5 76 in the world, in my opinion, and he's putting on a display right now. He's a Lucio main, and he's rocking 76.
Harry Hook, I mean, he's always been a player with FPL experience, but here we go. Reinforce charging right in, not able to land the charge. Still in the back looking for the 76, being a distraction. But while that's going on, he's not shielding his team, and Tailspin and Taimu able to get to the back. Tailspin taking out Reinforce in the end, a double kill for him. Rez will come up here for the offense, so all hope is not lost, but here comes the barrage right after, takes out AKM immediately, able to crack Reinforce's shield, and the defensive Envy now just smothering after that. Internet Hulk leading the way. That's a great thing about defensive Winston is that anytime you get an advantage, you can just rush in and be that much more aggressive.
It's one of the few times you look at a res and say, I don't think that was the right choice. Just based on the positioning of where people died, they all died just getting ready to die again. I mean, Nox got res right outside the server room, right in front of Taimu's Roadhog, got hooked, and he immediately deleted. All that res really did was give more ultimates to this defending squad. Like, it's, yeah. Don't often say res was bad.
Reinforce right now leading the way. The offense only with 2 ults here versus a whole lot more on the defense. Reinforce not able to hit that charge. Tailspin again, getting to the backline, already taking out Wins, forcing out Lucio. And this is 2 kills for the defense. The offense just has to back out, and I feel like this is a reset on this part. Even if they wanted to unco the blow res, it probably would not be worth it at this point.
Yeah, they're going to stay on these heroes for the next push, but I think after that, actually, wow, that's amazing. Tavik comes down from his Tracer, who had 100% ult, and he's going to go Soldier 76. I think they need to take a different path here. That high ground didn't work out for him like early on the push, but they need to push through high ground, because Tailspin's the problem for them. They need to at least pressure him off this point. Yeah, Wins is coming up.
They have a lot more ults to their name here, but Wins just going down there, and Hulk not able to find his right opportunity. AKM was looking for the Reaper flank, but now they're already down once it starts. AKM, though, getting into it, is able to take out Taimu, getting right to the back. Pretty good Reaper Valley coming out from here, and now 5v5. This is a big opportunity for Rogue. We'll see if they can capitalize. Sound Bearer on the way. They are putting all their cards here on the table. Not able to go right in, and oh my goodness, the Earth Shot from Coco reads them, goes right in, stops the threat of Death Blossom. Still very even from both sides, but I do like the response here from Envy thus far.
Yeah, they're making some headway on this defense, and again, it's Tailspin. He almost died so much earlier in that fight. About 60 seconds ago, he was at 20 HP, and they couldn't finish it. He did die, he got resurrected back up. He remains to be the problem they have to deal with first. They're going to take this high ground again. They have to come in through top. There's no way you can go in through bottom and just let him rain justice on you.
Why are we stopped?
So Tavik on the 76, it's going to be on him to not kill Tailspin necessarily, but he's got to get him and Chips off of this ledge up here. That's why Hulk's up here. Hulk's up here to drop a shield if they ever feel too pressured. But it's just Tavik up there, and he gets eliminated by Tailspin Rocket.
And with Tavik going down early, that's going to be pretty rough. He's going down early. It's going to just not be a good thing for the offense. The defense is able to be way more aggressive because they know that big threat is down. And here comes the Earth Shower just for good measure coming from Coco. Knocks down 2. AKM gets in the back line. He just goes down. At that point, he just needed to sort of die, not to stagger the death. But for Rogue here, they've really petered out. I feel like their offense has become less and less focused as this has gone on, where they started out pretty good, and now it almost feels like they're left without a plan.
Yeah, it does look a bit aimless right now. They sent Tavik up here at the top to try to deal with Hailstorm, but all alone. They're not coming through 6. You have to just start eliminating people one by one, at least target-wise. He comes in again, and he gets deleted by
Speed boost coming in here. AKM trying to take out this Reinhardt, and oh my goodness, just beautiful stuff coming out from Coco to avoid that. Barrage comes in from Tailspin, doesn't get the most value that he's looking for. Rogue still in this 5v5. AKM able to take out Hulk, and now you take a look at this. He's going to be looking to get right into the back line here. Has Death Blossom at the ready. Landing really good shot after shot.
It was a really nice late res. It brought in Tavik up top, who got his tactical visor off, was able to finally deal with Tailspin, then cleans up Harry Hook. So the resurrection there was really patient, but really nice. Brought them up in nice positions.
So Hope still alive here for the side of Rogue. They're moving it forward.
Yeah, they got a ton of momentum right now. However, only about 2.5 minutes, I think, by my clock to finish out the map. They can't be stalled out again.
No, they can't. They have to keep this moving at all times. They can't get stalled out for any reason whatsoever. Or, as you mentioned, it'll absolutely be over. Tavik going to 76, though, definitely seems to have worked out a little bit better. Was able to help crack that point. We'll see now if the side of EnVy can reestablish, because EnVy doesn't have a whole lot of ults here to deal with this either. Both teams relatively ultless, though AKM does have Death Blossom at the ready. We'll see how it works out in the next fight.
Well, they won the tank battle already, so Reinforced take out Coco. That's going to be a nice boon for their push here, as there's going to be no shields to help out here. Taimu's on this Widow. We'll see if he can get anything done with it, but Chips goes down right there to Unko. No mercy on mercy violence.
Yeah, the Mercy on Mercy fight was real. Taimu, though, coming right back in. He'll take out AKM as Wins going off. Gets another double kill, really making McCree work. And here, Earth Shower coming in from Reinforced, knocks down 2. Coco's going to go down as a result. And Rogue right now looking completely revitalized, as EnVy was never able to reset in the hangar phase.
That was a great hangar phase for them. They absolutely needed it. A little over a minute now, about a minute and a half to push through. Again, they can't get stalled out. Taimu's done almost nothing on his Widow before now. He took out Unko.
It's only about 2:12 remaining here. It's actually less than that. We're under a minute here. It's about 50 seconds remaining.
Well, they have nice positioning here on the offense. It's really important to take this top, make sure you're not going to get peppered down from there, but the cart's still not moving behind it. They have to win this fight right here.
They do, but Harry Hook is able to rush him with attack visor, takes out Wins, decides not to go into the back line, not really looking for that right now. 65 in favor of EnVy, but Rogue right now has no choice but to continue to try and move forward, but Tailspin able to land the rockets from long range, keeping it going, lands the double kill. Now it's Tavik in his sights. Tavik going to go down as well. So I think for that, they have definitely bought themselves enough time. Should be GG here in about 10 seconds.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, I mean, it was still Tailspin again. They finally answered him on second point push, but he still remains a huge problem. That's the thing with EnVy, is that what are you going to answer? You have to dedicate so many resources to try to deal with Tailspin, and everyone else is going to be able to clean up.
Tailspin is holding on to Barrage right now. It doesn't have to be 2 over aggro, but here comes a Barrage. Looks for it. Only takes out 1. Tavik with the immediate punish. Rezo going to come right away from Chips as Taimu in the back, putting Widow to its best use right now. Just able to get the kills he needs, and that is going to be it. Good hold coming out from EnVy, although I gotta say, if it wasn't for the really strong hold right before the hangar, Rogue had a real chance at this. Rogue came in very strong after they broke that, and yeah, I don't think they needed too much more time to get to last.
Yeah, I mean, once they finally got through first, they looked amazing. Like I said, this Rogue team looks really good. They definitely gave EnVy a scare there at the very least, but I don't know. I look at this EnVy squad and like up and down. The core, of course, the supports and tanks are from IDDQD. That's Coco, Chips, Internet Hulk, and Harry Hook, and they were phenomenal with it. Then you start adding in 2 of the best DPSs in the world. You can make an argument on either side. Tailspin's the best Pharah on the planet right now. You can make an argument on the other side that Taimu's the best hit scan DPS on the planet right now. You have them and probably the 4 most solid, steady, consistent players on support and tanks. You just can't say enough about his envious team, but Rogue looked good enough against him. Tavik did try to put that team on his back.
Well, and don't forget too, and I'm just going to qualify this the entire time, Rogue is also playing at ping disadvantage here.
Yeah,
we're on NA
true.
servers right now, NA East servers most likely, so everyone in the Envy squad is ping probably anywhere from 30 to 50 altogether, whereas everyone on the Rogue squad ping more in the realm of 120, 150 at the best. They might even be a little bit higher than that, so again, I mean, they knew what they were signing up from the tournament, but it is worth noting that Rogue on some level is not at
Optimal
their max
conditions.
strength.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a disadvantage for them for sure. I mean, Tvik just played amazing. It was phenomenal. Yeah, but this Envy squad still remains a little bit above the rest. But this might be kind of the time we start seeing that. Are they beatable? Or especially you mentioned Tvik has the knowledge of this team, what they like to run. I think that they put up a time there. Like if that first point goes a little bit better for them, they're in a good position to take that map, which is stunning because Envy hasn't lost a map in their last 10 sets. I think it's been about like 35 maps in a row they've won. It's insane.
They've been on a ridiculous tear. There's no other way of saying it, but both teams are powered by incredibly good DPS. They both have very strong cores, so to see Rogue come in and almost take a map, not all that surprising. I mean, they're a very good team, and as good as Envy has been, there's variability in FPS games. There's times where you're not going to hit the shots you want to hit, while the enemy team is saying all the shots that they want to hit. So really, you would expect there to be variability where sometimes a team like Rogue will take out Envy, even if Envy is favored, which, by the way, won't always be the case.
All right, so our next map is going to be King's Row. Envy will be attacking first on King's Row. You are, of course, watching the Beat Invitational. Thanks for tuning in with us. This is sponsored by Soylent. We also have sponsors in Matcherino, PvP Live, and Steel Series. I'll get into those in more detail as it goes on, but I want to make sure you visit our Matcherino page first. ! Matcherino in chat. Moobot will hook you up with that link. You can throw $1 into the prize pool for free if those coupon codes are still available with a coupon code BEAT. And if you want to throw your money into it, by all means, please do. It goes right to the players, right into the prize pool. We much appreciate it.
Matcherino, they've been great. They've been really in the esports scene for Overwatch for a very long time. Definitely give them your support, and it's a great way of showing support to the teams and players as well, so thank you to them for helping sponsor this event. We are ready, though. We are going right into it. Kings are on the way, and by the way, guys, if you're just tuning in, sit tight because we have a ton of Overwatch planned here today. We are not going away anytime soon. 5 full sets, so buckle up.
Now entering King's Row.
All right, good old King's Row. I really think the team should be running more Junkrat on this map, but I guess I'm wrong because they're not, and especially if Envy's not going to run it, then I guess it's just all but over for the defensive Junkrat dream. It's just been so much more Pharah focused. I think a lot of that is because offensive teams are trying to take this high ground away with soldier rushes, with Pharah rushes, etc. That you need a response to be able to clear it out, because if you're running a Junkrat, it's harder to get up to the top to clear out the space that the offense takes away from you. So that might be something. But on this defense so far, we do have Tvik running the Pharah. AKM will be on Reaper, Reinforce on Rhea and Hearts. Nox will play Lucio. Wins again, reprising his role as McCree, and Unko will play Mercy.
All right, we'll take a look here at the offense as it sets up here for the Envy squad. It's going to be Chips here on the Mercy, Coco on Reinhardt, Taimu very likely to be on this Hanzo, Harry Hook on the 76, Tailspin on Pharah, and Internet Hulk going to round things out on the Zarya. And Hanzo plays interesting here on King's Row, where again, for those who haven't seen too much of it, it is feast or famine. You either get the picks you're looking for and you win the point easily, or you just sort of sit there shooting arrows and looking like a fool. But Taimu's good enough where usually he's not ending up looking like a fool. He's able to get the better of it more often than not. Doing against Rogue, though, that could be harder than expected.
Even when you don't get the full benefit of it, you're getting that sonic arrow, and vision and knowledge in this game is nearly everything. So Taimu's going to at least pressure them with some arrows. The possibility of those logs hitting your head is frightening enough, and he's going to give the rest of his team vision, too.
So we'll keep an eye on Taimu here as Taimu looks to land the Hanzo dream. Simple geometry potentially here in session. As the offense right now moving forward, and you'll see this Slobber offense will go for early poke, look for an opportunity, but AKM rushes in, finds an arrow to the head instead. Early 65 here in the favor of Envy as Envy picks up 3 quick kills, piling on immediately. Tailspin to the back line. Lucio perhaps not long to this world, under assault here by the Pharah. Will get out, but while he's running away, this is going to be Envy capping this point for free.
Yeah, he's gonna rollerblade away, and that is
Securing
a
the objective.
extremely fast first cap from
My
Envy.
ultimate is ready.
A nearly uncontested first cap from Envy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get much faster than that. Everything went their way as they went forward. AKM on the defense is able to take out Hulk. Hulk being perhaps a little bit too aggro, was looking to build up his Graviton because, of course, we don't talk about it too much, but Hanzo Zarya, that's one of the best wombo combos in the entire game. As wins now, Zarya is overextending on both sides as wins goes a little bit too far up, meets the end of Taimu, and Envy now just going to be able to leisurely move forward, get a little bit of poke, stay at the payload, and the next fight will be in the bend here in just a moment.
Yeah, they got to back up to bend point 2. I mean, the streets phase is really 2 points. The first defense is the first bend, and it's favored for the defense a little bit because you have the high ground here and there. The second bend is definitely favored for the offense as you're able to flank a little better on left and right, but they already give up all the way back to the second point.
Oh no, Taimu was able to take out Tavik early in this fight. There will be no big defensive though they're going to blow the res early. So now there's no res. They trade the res for Tavik's life, and Tavik right now going to the backline looking for his barrage opportunity. Justice reigns from Tailspin first, but Tavik able to get the double. Defense down by 3, offense down by 2.
Heroes never die.
But the res now coming up from the offense, and the defense doesn't have that res because they used it early to get Tavik back up. And that was the power of that early pick from Taimu. The defense normally would have liked to have stayed in there, but no res, no fight.
Yeah, killing Tavik early in this fight is as good as killing a Mercy. It does exactly the same thing for the most part, just taking away their biggest power class. They have so many ultimates. They haven't had to use any so far in this game. They're going to have Dragon Strike, they're going to have Earthshatter, they're going to have Tactical Visor, and here comes Graviton as well.
Tavik able to get to backline just to dispatch his Tailspin with authority. AKM rushing in, 2 quick kills here for Rogue, and they are pushing Envy back. Envy wisely saying, okay, we're getting out of this fight, it's not worth it anymore. Taimu winging some rockets, but he should be able to get out of that.
So really, this next fight should be an enormous combo attempt from Hulk. Here comes the first part of it.
The combo comes in. Here comes the dragon. Will he be sated? A double kill here for Taimu off of that combo. As far as wombos go, Rogue should almost feel happy that was the only damage by Tailspin. Able to get to backline, taking out, but AKM, the counter coming in, takes out 3 including Chips. Chips is not going to be alive to res that back up. And that helps a lot for Rogue, where Envy, they're going to get payload progress, but they're not going to be able to solidify in the last point because of that last-minute heroic coming out from AKM.
That's a game-saving ultimate, really, because Unko had died early in that fight, too, so the defense was going to be really in a rough spot. They were going to be able to fight, push as far forward as they wanted to, and res maybe spawn camp on it. AKM absolutely saving the game for them.
Tavik having to be careful, down to 16 HP, eating the headshot from Taimu there, almost going down. Counter Graviton though coming out here from the defense. Here comes the barrage, Justice raining from above, only gets 1 as Taimu just shooting Tavik out of the sky. Taimu right now showing us his best cowboy action. Both teams getting to a big brawl here, but the res will be out here for the side of the offense. Unco went down, there will be no defensive res, and Envy now in the driver's seat as they move forward.
Yeah, they're going to try some stall tactics here. Here comes a Tracer out from Tavik. They're actually waiting a little bit. They don't want to completely try to stall out. Here comes Nox first. They're doing this kind of method where you wait and just stall and stall and stall.
Earthshatter comes down here from defense. Doesn't knock down anyone. Was not what they're looking for. And you're right, they're going to try and stall us out as long as possible, but Envy right now is just chaining on the kills. The Graviton comes in, sets up both wins and knocks. Internet Hulk is his own follow-up, gets the triple kill. Down goes Tavik, and that is going to be a pretty darn quick cap coming out from the side of Envy there. 4:35 left on the time as they capped.
0 to 3.
It's a 10-minute map, so what is that, 5:25 on the first cap?
5:20.
They've changed some things. We're trying to adjust to how we want to run stopwatch, etc. But we don't get the screen anymore that says you completed in this time because we're in competitive mode. So unfortunately, it is up to my math skills, which are lacking, but I believe it's going to be 5:25. 4:25. Okay, yeah, it's down to 9 minutes.
4:25.
Yeah.
You must be up there, Hexeroder. I don't even know. But yeah, it's 4:25.
I'm the worst at math.
Hashtag math, guys. While trying to cast at the same time. It is absolutely terrible. Look, I was born and raised in NA.
It felt
That's my
longer than
excuse.
that. I'm actually pretty surprised that that's how
Yeah,
quick it
4:20.
went.
That's incredibly quick.
That is one of the fastest map times you'll ever see on King's Row. I mean, Envy in this roster has done, I think, 3.5 before, and maybe a bit over 3, but that's not against a team, you know, of this caliber. So that's a pretty impressive time that they set there, and it actually is really going to be, I think, kind of difficult to hold this on the Envy defense, unless Internet Hall can get Molten Core up, then everything changes.
Alrighty, well, taking a look here at the defense as it rolls out for Rogue. It's going to be as it rolls out here for Envy, it's going to be Chips here on the Mercy, Internet Hulk on Torbjorn, Coco on Reinhardt, Taimu on the Hog, Harry Hook on 76, and Tailspin going to round things out here on the defensive Junkrat. So a lot of teams not favoring Junkrat. Envy, one of the teams that actually still likes Junkrat here in Kings Row.
Yeah, they're very much, they were the dominant defense on Kings Row in one of the first phases of beta especially, and it was a lot of their Junkrat play played by Tavik, actually, who's going to be on the other side of the roster. He's going to be playing Genji. Unko's going to rock out on this offensive Widow. Wins is going to play Zarya, reinforced on Winston, Nox on Lucio, AKM on Reaper.
Tailspin right now laying in the shots, and this is where Junkrat is so deadly on Kings Row, is that he can not only stop your team from going through this archway without taking damage, but if you go after him, it's a very protective area for the Junkrat, and if you ignore him, he's going to flank your team. It's why Junkrat is so powerful here on this map. Rogue right now trying to challenge Junkrat. AKM, though, just getting shot. Almost going down right away. Unko, though, actually getting some work done on the Widow. Was able to get one pick, but goes down in turn the Harry Hook. Both teams brawling out here. Tavik in the back line as Genji already has a Dragon Blade. Here comes Tavik, slicing and dicing his way through. Not able to get the kills in one just yet. Does get Harry Hook, gets the back line, but oh no, the charge from Coco just taking him out. Shoulder tackle beats sword any day, Hex.
Yeah, it's a nice charge from Coco. It's one of the players we rarely talk about on Envy. Everyone looks at all their all-stars and their DPS. Coco's an amazing tank, and he just hits his nice charge right there.
Big Earth Charlotte coming down for Coco. Knocks down 4, just cleaning right up. Rest of Envy right there with it. Time with the fall through as well. And Rogue is not out of it entirely yet. They are getting a few extra kills towards the end, as now Unko looking to pile on. But still, Envy has been bending, not breaking.
Yeah, they haven't really even gotten enough damage to get ults up. They are going to have Graviton up momentarily. Unko's trying to get some picks now as he has his wall hacks going on as well. But those first two fights went firmly in the favor of Envy. They sound barrier in.
Unko right now looking for the Widow fire. Was able to get one pick early on, but not getting what he needs to here. As the rest of his team went right in the back. Coco and the rest of Envy, though, able to mop it up.
Yeah, reinforced ults there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. He's actually just going to use it just to jump out and live on the Winston. I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some roster changes, some switch-ups here, because what they're doing now is absolutely not working. That Tavik is getting kills, but they're only against the turret, so don't let the kill feed deceive you. They're going to completely backs it up on offense, and he's got Molten Core at the ready.
The bigger problem here for Rogue is that time-wise, they just don't have enough time. They only have 2 minutes left here, so even if they take this point on the next push, I mean, 2 minutes remaining, Hex, that is not enough time to get to the end.
It has to be this push. I mean, even then, that's fine, but like, well, look at this push. If they don't win this push right here, the map's a second.
Dragon Blade coming out here from Tavik. Tavik going to the backline. Molten Core is out. Will take out Harry Hook, looking for the Mercy. Can he get Chips? Chips gonna give him the slip, at least for now. Chips will stay alive, and oh my goodness, takes out Tavik with the pistol. And that should be game. He needed to get both there and a little bit more, but even if it did work out, the Molten Core is doing so much work that I'm not even sure Rogue would have won that anyways.
Molten Core is a pretty good ult. You hit Q, your turret becomes 800 HP and double damage. It's pretty good. Also, you get 500 HP on your actual hero, who also does really good damage. It's a good ult.
All right, here Tyre right now coming out from the side of Tailspin, moving in. Takes out Unko in the back. Graviton does come out here from the offense, but it's too low, too late. They didn't. Not only was it on the ladder side, but they also just didn't have the follow through. They weren't able to get through the Reinhardt, and they are saying GG. They know that they can't do this in 1 minute, and that is going to be another map in favor of Envy. Really well played to them.
Yeah,
so
very late to Vic switch to the Pharah. I think they could have gone to that earlier. Sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say something important?
No, I was just going to say it's now 2-0 in favor of Envy right now. A big performance coming out there on Gibraltar and Kings Row.
Yeah, they look good. That's Envy of old, holding Kings Row first.
And Reinforce pulling a Hex here saying 1 second, spilled coffee all over the desk.
Oh,
that can be rough. Hopefully he has a backup keyboard or some way of getting right back in the thick of things.
I do have a backup keyboard now, by the way, because of that incident. I was able to fix my initial keyboard, took it apart. Totally felt good about myself being able to fix it. Did buy another one though, which is nice to have a backup. But they don't make keyboards with like black keys as much anymore. If you're looking for a keyboard, I guess you would just go to SteelSeries and check out what keyboards they have. I'm sure that they have wonderful keyboards. They are a sponsor of this event, PvP Live as well. Check out all of their news on eSports, competitive Overwatch, etc. Matcherino, of course, is still our sponsor. Go to !Matcherino. That brings you to our tournament page. If you want to donate, we'll read off your pithy comment and donation. Of course, one of our main sponsors is also Soylent, and we are sponsored by Twitch TV. So thank you for watching the Beat Invitational. We're going to move into map 3. Flawless.
Yep, both team Reinforce adding a little bit of backstory. That saying, quote, I was just going to type GG in chat and then I knock over my cup. So he was trying to be sportsmanlike, and this is how fate repays him.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Indeed. Well, Hollywood will be our third map here as Rogue now faced with the task of trying to do the reverse sweep if they want to get back into the series, and that is easier said than done against a team like Envy.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult that it's even difficult saying it. I mean, you start with one map, right? Maybe Hollywood is the map that they feel that they're most comfortable on. Maybe they can get some picks if they start running wins on that Widowmaker. I mean, it's a great Widowmaker map. We'll see what they can get going here, but you got to start with one map, move on from that. But so far, they've been a little outclassed by EnVyUs, especially on King's Row. The first map was actually pretty good for Rogue on Gibraltar, but we'll see what they have here on Hollywood. I would expect it to be closer to King's Row performance than Gibraltar, just because the maps are so similar.
All right, so both teams are ready, letting them know that we are ready here in the casting end. We're going to get right into it. Third map, EnVyUs versus Rogue. Let us get right into it. And we'll see if Rogue now can reverse their fortunes, because Rogue has had some good moments here in the series, but I will say is that King's Row felt a little bit more devastating than Gibraltar. Gibraltar was really close, could have gone another way with maybe one more minute to the side of Rogue, but King's Row was a slaughter. That defense coming out from EnVyUs was incredibly solid.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they run on defense here. They're a team that is definitely favored running a Symmetra here and there. They'll run a Torb. Coco generally will play that Torb. We've seen that on Nubani as well from EnVyUs. So they could bust out some interesting defenses here. I mean, as far as EnVyUs goes, they have just made their name on defense. I've said it forever, that to win games in Overwatch, you have to be a good defensive team. As some of these maps are slightly offensively favored, we've seen tournaments where every team is completing every map all the time. So to win maps consistently, your defense is where you make your bones.
Yeah. Right now, chat's wondering about the status of Hex, whether or not he is a Green Lantern or not. I mean, for me, I'm totally buying the Green Lantern thing here. Move over Hal Jordan, move over John Stewart.
Every week we try to get something new and different and exciting with my camera. This week I'm just kind of I'm seeing the ones and zeros. I don't even see the code anymore, man.
Okay, you want to go to the Matrix angle? That's okay. Yeah. I was gonna make you a superhero, but hey, you want to be in a dystopian future? Why not?
Why not both, I guess.
I mean, you are a fan of the Boltons, so anything goes. I could see being a fan of the world of the Matrix.
All right, so everyone tuning in, the loser of this, I think our next match is going to be the loser of this match versus Team Liquid. For those of you just tuning in, just get something to eat, get something to drink. We have so many games here tonight. It's going to be awesome. After that, we have like Cloud9 versus Splice, and then we have the winners match going against NG Red is going to be here tonight. One Shot's going to make an appearance. Gale Force is going to make an appearance. Pretty much every top team in North American Overwatch, and then also Rogue representing EU is going to be on the docket tonight. So strap in for a long one.
Yeah, we are going to be here for pretty much all night. Strap in. It's going to be great. But take a look here at the defense as it rolls out for the side of Rogue. It's going to be AKM on the Reaper, Nox on Lucio, Tavik on Pharah, Wins on the McCree, Unco on Mercy, and Reinforce going to round things out here on the Reinhardt. Reinforce, as it were.
Yeah, I'm trying to force that one. I find it amusing. It's kind of odd to see Tavik not on the Reaper here. He's had so many amazing plays on Reaper defense on Hollywood. One of my favorites is when he faked out a team that for bluffing Death Blossom. Back when Zenyatta was in the meta, Tavik came off the top rope here on defense, making them think he was going to Blossom, then just wraithed away, but made the other team pop Transcendence and a couple other ults. So interesting to see here that he's going to be on the defensive Pharah. Offensively, that Pharah is going to be played by Tailspin. Taimu is going to be on the Genji, Internet Hulk on the Winston, Harry Hook, of course, on Lucio, Chips on Mercy, and Coco on the offensive Roadhog.
All right, so the offense right now up and on the way. We'll see what Tailspin has in store here. And Envy actually has been a little bit more aggressive than other teams in Hollywood as of late. They don't always take their time. They're very quick at finding opportunity and going in on it. We'll see what they do here because it's risky. If you go in too early as an offense and get punished immediately, it's rough because you feed ults and all the rest, but they're going right into it. They're not wasting their time as Tailspin getting first kill, able to get on the wins. And now 65 in favor of Envy. ACAM, though, turning the tide right away. Both teams brawling on the point as Tavik now starting to bring this back. Looking for the pick on the Chips. Lands one rocket. Will he get the next? Chips taking refuge the other way, but he's split up the dream team of Chips and Tailspin, and Tailspin will fall as a result.
Yeah, they take down Chips pretty late in that fight as well, so that's going to stagger the next push. Looks really nice there for the defense. They got some alt charge. Tavik's about to have Barrage ready, and really nothing in the favor of the offense in that fight.
Well, they did get for early pick, but they just weren't able to keep the momentum going. The defensive rogue did really well at adapting to it, and Tavik was able to split up Chips from Tailspin, and that really is what sold the fight. Offense, though, coming right back in here in just a moment. Tavik will have barrage from the next point.
Damage increase.
Well, here they go. They're rolling right in. They're looking for Tailspin. Dodging away from Tavik right now. Tavik looking for Tailspin or Chips. Doesn't want to drop the barrage until they're out of it. But here comes the sound barrier. He's going to do it anyways. And just want Justice raining from above. Looking for the pick off. Tailspin, though, going to take him out in turn. And here comes Justice from Tailspin. Takes out AKM immediately. Cracks the Reinhardt shield. Will go down, but the offense of Envy staying in there after a very good res from Chips.
Yeah, Res comes up. That should be the end of this fight. There's a little poke coming in from Lucio, but he has to be careful to actually just get out of there. Taimu is looking for supports right now. He's got both Unco and the Lucio on the menu, but Tavik does take him out. He is able to take out Unco early on, though, so it's a nice...
I don't know if I like this coming up from Rogue. Rogue is trying to get back on this point, but there's no way they're going to retake it. And now you look at the positioning. They're not able to get the rooftop positioning that they need here, and Envy right now could really snowball this in favor as look at where Internet Hulk is going. He's looking to chain the dust even more. He's right on top of Reinforce. Reinforce trying to get away, and Internet Hulk still in hot pursuit. I feel like Mercy should be able to save Ryan here. But again, you look at the positioning, everything in favor of Envy right now is Tavik just getting thrown into the trash by that Rocket Winston combo. Ay, ay, ay.
I don't think they were expecting to lose this much ground, but yeah, you mentioned it. They started bleeding in heroes towards the end, and then DPS were just getting picked off one by one. Tavik going down there, I think he thought maybe they're holding first roof. There's no way they're holding second roof already, right? Well, yeah, surprise.
ACAM right now for the defense lanes up, a Death Blossom coming in right out of the lobby. They're able to take out Chips very early in this fight, so there will be no res here for the offense. It's a pretty good look for Rogue. They pick up 2 kills. ACAM now on the payload. Internet Hulk about to bite the dust, so 3 quick kills here from the side of Rogue. And look at their ults right now, Hex. They are loaded for bear.
Well, AKM again with another couple picks, which really helps them out, really helps them solidify this fight. The defense finally stabilized, and now, even though things went so poorly for them, they can hold this first roof.
Yeah, the defense has found a great opportunity to rehold here. The payload is moving back, and honestly, perhaps Envy just pushed a little bit too aggressively in the end. But here they go. They're getting right back onto this rooftop. Internet Hulk forcing the issue. Tavik looking to get on Tailspin. Tailspin on the ACAM first. But here comes the Dragon Blade on the way from Taimu. Not able to get anything here just yet, but does find Nox in the end, slicing, dicing towards the back line.
Yeah, they left Unco alive, though.
Yeah, Unco was able to get the res. He's now running away. Taimu looking to follow through, and it's just chaos here. We have people fighting on the payload, people fighting in the back line. The fight is completely broken down here, and neither side with a huge advantage just yet. Though Envy with that last pickoff will be putting things a little bit more in their favor.
Yeah, it is 5v4 right now. They're getting a couple kills here. There's a lot of progress. They're rolling out from 2 different angles. Like, Unco has to be a little careful right now. He just peeked his Mercy for no good reason. Nox gets taken out by Tailspin late.
Tavik right now moving in, looking for an opportunity. Able to get one shot on the Tailspin, looking for more. Ends up going down the Coco. Taimu now going in the ACAM. And the offense had 3 kills to their name. They're starting to push Rogue back. Rogue perhaps is getting stuck in that brawl a little bit too long. And they should be able to just mop the rest of this up. Every kill going in their favor. And the defense, they just need to back up, reset for last point.
Good choice. I've got you in my
Yeah, they're gonna get pressured a little bit here. Wow, that is.
They're still going on. The defense wasn't able to set to a safe place, and Coco just activating the tac visor takes out 2. That is not what you want for Rogue, and now they're going to give up a whole lot of positioning here on last as well.
Yeah, they haven't retreated gracefully, at the very least. Every time that they're trying to get out, they get out sluggishly, they get picked off, and this enemy offense is just punishing them for it. They know that if they move far enough forward, that Rogue's not taking their push seriously, and they're able to get 2 kills before fights even start.
Ooh, a beautiful pulse bomb comes out from Taimu, takes out Tavik immediately, and that's a huge gun for the defense that's gone now. They have to blow the res early, so they're hoping that Tavik can turn this in their favor. After res is looking for chips, is able to get on chips, so no offensive res on the menu, and here comes the barrage from Tavik, takes out 2 right over the top. And a tale of 2 mercies there. Popping the res early really worked out for Rogue, and because chips went down, there was no one there to undo the damage coming out from Rogue.
Yeah, not a ton of stuff in the cupboard here for the offense, too. I think they're going to probably wait for Harry Hook to get his sound barrier up so that they can initiate with the advantage. Their AKM takes out Tailspin really early, so they're definitely going to wait. You can't push without your Pharaoh.
No, not in the
so
least.
much damage, yeah. Well, they need this high ground as well. They have to pressure out this high ground. You can't let a Reaper, like a team that you know has a Pharaoh and a Reaper, just hold the high ground. So that's going to be their first priority. They're going to send Hulk up there to at least poke and look. Taimu gets taken out by Tavik.
Quick kill coming out from the defense, and again, that's going to set the offense back. I don't think Chips wants to use the res just on one person. Would be a pretty big tempo res if he did, and then he would not have res from the next fight. So they're going to wait for Taimu to get back up, and that pick by Tavik, buying the defense another 30 seconds or so.
Taimu very far forward here. He gets hooked out and taken. You had a shield. Stand behind your Reinhardt, Taimu.
Been a rough last 2 minutes for Taimu, to say the least. That pick off, again, setting the tone in favor of the defense. And Harry Hook throwing out the sound barrier, res coming out, but this feels very forced as we see AKM come in there with the Death Blossom gets nothing. Tavik with the barrage over the top takes out Tailspin. Kind of bloody here. EnVyUs doing more of this than I would have expected off that sound barrier. They're making something out of nothing, but the defense still getting some of the pickoffs here that they need. Tavik still in the fight, but here comes the attack visor on the way from Wins. Won't be enough. Big earth shot from Coco, knocks down 2. EnVy coming right in off of that. Harry Hook with the double kill, but the res from the defense going to keep them in, and it is just a brawl on the point right now, Hex.
Yeah, they have their resurrection up so they can play a little more aggressive, but this enemy squad looks really out of sorts right now. They're losing players in situations that they generally don't. Hulk is now on the Tracer. That's why he died so terribly last time. Makes sense now.
AKM and Wins going right in. Now AKM in the backline looking to take out Taimu. Will get the kill. Has Chips in his sights. Down goes Chips. So the defense going to restabilize. And that was just a little bit weird for EnVy. I'm surprised they forced the issue of being down 2. They went for the res on 2, went for sound barrier. But if they just sound barriered earlier on and saved the res for later, it might have been a little bit better. It was just awkward from EnVy. It feels like they pushed it when they didn't really need to.
Yeah, they've been staggering in a way that is generally not what they do. Staggering deaths, staggering ults, or not hitting combos, and they just don't look as crisp as we're used to seeing.
No, not in the least, but offense from EnVy about to be on the way. Harry Hook does have a sound barrier up again, so we're going to be seeing sound barrier barrage here in just a moment. Tavik, though, has a barrage as well, so here comes the offense of EnVy moving in. Tailspin getting right to the backline, finds Mercy and Tavik, deletes them from the game with the double kill. That was a beautiful rush in there from the side of EnVy, and that should be it, Hex.
Yeah, they finally had a good coordinated fight there. They didn't lose people right before the fight happened. There were some just really weird moments there from both Tailspin and Taimu when they were trying to push in. They just both got a little over-aggressive, maybe underestimating this Rogue team, and were punished for it. Finally able to put one together there and finishing out with about 40 seconds left on the clock. 8:18 is that match time, according to our wonderful admins.
So much better showing coming out from Rogue, particularly with their last point defense. Last point defense looked way more formidable. And now I'm stuck in the spawn here. I can't get out.
Oh, you got locked
Help,
in.
I'm locked in. I'm never leaving this movie. But it's an intermission. What's the point of this? I can't even go buy concessions. It's weird. I don't think I've ever been locked in on this point.
Huh. I mean, do we need a lobby? Are you that
No,
locked
no.
in? All right,
Oh, no, we're not that long. I can move as soon as the players come out.
Should be all good then. On this defense, though, Well, no, actually, that's offense. I'm getting confused by the colors now. I was going to say, a little unorthodox to run the Genji on defense, isn't it? But on offense, it's going to be Tvik running that Genji. Wins is going to flex onto Zarya. Onko, of course, will play Mercy. Reinforce will play Winston. Nox on Lucio. AKM on the Reaper. So if Reinforce stays on this Winston, it's going to tell you a lot about how they want to push in this first point. He generally plays the Reinhardt, which is a slower push, methodical push. If he's running this Winston, it means they want to bomb in on the cafe and deal with the 76, which is likely going to be Harry Hook up there.
Well, not just the 76, but also what you see, Winston Genji is a more common 1-2 punch combo where what you'll see is that the Winston will go in on the back line for a key target like a Mercy or 76, and the Genji will be there for the instant burst follow-up. It sort of lets Genji do some of the bursts that he used to do on his own, but now with the Winston support. But take a look here at the defense as I set up here for the side of Envy. It's going to be Taimu on the Reaper, Coco on Reinhardt, Tailspin on Pharaoh, Chipsgen on Mercy, Internet Hulk on the Lucio, and Harry Hook on the 76.
I'd say, yeah, they're going to try to get in position to take out Harry Hook. You can't let a soldier just hang out here, you know, unopposed. He will absolutely eat you alive. That should be their first priority.
So Timer right now just staying here around the corner, waiting for people to go in, getting some good damage, getting some good poke to start things up. But meanwhile, take a look at the other part of the offensive rogue. AKM takes out Tailspin pretty early on. Tvik not able to get into the backline like we sort of expected, but oh no, Mercy showing herself to Tvik there. Timer though with the fall through, able to take him out immediately. 3 quick kills here for the side of Envy. Make it 4 as Harry Hook again being the rock. And we don't talk about it enough, but Harry Hook 76 has really elevated its play in the last little bit. He hunts down Unco. Oh my goodness.
It's phenomenal. There have been times where I'm wondering if he's got his ultimate up, because that's how many kills he's got. That's how good his tracking is. To have a support who can flex onto this level of DPS is just such a nice thing to have for your roster. Now, I mean, the push there, like the strategy, the idea was fine. The execution was just poor. But I liked what they did, what they tried to do. They just got punished for it and we just kind of out depth.
Well, they're looking for, again, Reinforce now getting to the back, getting on the Harry Hook. Tvik now coming in over the top looking for an opportunity. But as they do that, they lost 2 in the back. Both Unco and AKM are down. They're not able to get the kills they need in the back line. 3 kills here for Envy. And again, if you don't get those lightning fast backline picks with Winston and Genji, the rest of your team is going to pay a price because everyone else in the defense can just rush your backline.
Yeah, we'll see if they push in right now. I think if they're smart, they wait a little bit. And you try to get 30% for wins, 30% for knocks. You get Sombra, you get Graviton, you already have Dragon Blade. Go in with the cupboard fully stocked instead of going in kind of half-cocked.
Here comes Dragon Blade for Tvik. Tvik getting no value whatsoever, getting gunned down by Harry Hook and Taimu. And again, Rogue just having real trouble on these Russians. They're not able to get what they want. The res comes out here from the offense just a little bit late, and we'll see if it's enough. But overall, Rogue just able to do whatever they want right now.
Yeah, this next push would be great to have Dragon Blade up. They do Sound Barrier right now, though, so maybe they can get something off of this.
Yeah, they use Sound Barrier, Graviton, they do get 1 kill. I don't know if that was the best use of those ults. Might be better just wait off the next push, but Tvik right now in the back, looking again the Chips. Chips giving him a very good juke here, able to just run him around. And meanwhile, here comes the Reinhardt swinging the hammer. Tvik getting zoned out. And Coco going to get his man in the end.
Yeah, I just really disagree with how they use their ultimate abilities there. One, they could have gone in and then gotten it with a combo if they just waited a little bit. They chose not to and used Dragon Blade earlier, and then when that fight was kind of halfway done, they tried to bring it back with Graviton and Sound Barrier, which would have been great either before with the Dragon Blade or the next push with this barrage coming up. I don't agree with how they're staggering their ultimates.
My ultimate is ready.
No, and for them, they're not going to have a whole lot of opportunity to build more ultimates up. They only have 53 seconds left for this first point, and even though they had a very long defense against Envy, it's not going to matter if they don't get through point A. So here they go. They're on the way, but they meet the big Earth Shatter from Coco. Knocks down 3, sets up Harry Hook. And this push is over before it's even begun. I mean, Unco, he's will have an opportunity for res here, so we'll see if they get anything off of that. They have no Sound Barrier to combo with it, though, so Heroes Never Die. They're coming right back up. AKM, gonna look for the salty run back barrage here in just a moment. Does get one hand to Tailspin, looking for more. Almost takes him out outright. And here comes the barrage. Down goes Harry Hook. Tailspin, though, comes in over the top. Was not accounted for. As Rogue off this runs, they are staying in here longer than expected, but now they have to deal with the res of EnVyUs, which is easier said than done.
Unco surprisingly alive here as he's been in on Mercy with his pistol for a while, but it does look like it's going to switch back in favor. Reinforce does get a kill on Tailspin, though, and that barrage got a little bit wasted. They're pressuring it. Yeah, it's cleaned up.
Harry Hook has just been so consistent this game. It's blowing my mind. Like, he's in the back here. He's not always under pressure because Taimu and Tailspin are buying so much, but he's just sitting here on top of the cafe, gunning people down left and right. And he's a big reason as to why EnVyUs was able to hold there 3-0 in favor of Envy.
Yeah, he's a big reason why they feel pretty comfortable running a solo support. He does so much damage up there. He doesn't need any help from the Pharah because he's got his own healing up top. And of course, now here it is on the Lucio. That's why it's so impressive, is that he's an amazing Lucio as well. And then he can flex onto the 76 and they don't lose a step.
All right, so there you have it. EnVyUs maintaining their streak of dominance, winning the series 3-0 over Rogue. Although Rogue, they had some really good points, both on Hollywood and on